Some indication today after a gunman in New York kills 4 people intended for the NFL office. Here's the latest. The story continues to develop by the minute. 4 people killed in a Midtown New York City shooting. We can tell you officials say the gunman, Shane Tamura, fatally shot himself after the shooting. The New York mayor, Eric Adams, issued a statement at the scene yesterday evening. Here it is.
New Yorkers, this is Mayor Eric Adams, and I'm here at the scene of 51st and Park Avenue. Unfortunately, we had a shooting here where, with multiple injuries, the perpetrator, the known perpetrator, is neutralized at this time. Those who are in the building, we're asking you to remain inside as police officers are doing a floor-by-floor search. We believe, again, the perpetrator is neutralized at this time. We're going over to the hospital to speak with the family and loved ones involved in this incident. We did have a shooter with multiple injuries at this time, but the perpetrator is neutralized.
The New York's Mayor Eric Adams there giving that update from the scene yesterday. Let's go to the picture of the gunman. It is chilling, as we said, carrying that AR-15 style rifle. He walked into Midtown Manhattan, the skyscraper, yesterday, plain as day, with intention. He began firing upon people in the lobby. He killed a New York City police officer, 3 other people as well. He critically wounded a 5th person before killing himself, according to officials. Now, the rampage took place blocks from Rockefeller Center and St. Patrick's Cathedral in a building owned by Rudin Management and housing offices for the National Football League and the investment giant Blackstone. Slain officer, identified as Dadurul Islam, 36 years old. He was assigned to a Bronx precinct. He had been with the department, we've learned, for 3.5 years. He was working at the building at 345 Park Avenue in a private security role. Officials said that at a news conference. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said the shooter's motives were unclear. NFL said one of its employees, whom it did not identify, had been seriously injured in the attack. He was hospitalized, according to a statement from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. The league's commissioner said that the authorities in New York declined to identify the 3 victims. Aside from Officer Islam, families were being notified. The gunman burst through the lobby of the building in Midtown about 6:28 p.m. Ms. Tisch said he shot Officer Islam first, then struck 2 people and a security guard in the lobby. Gunman allowed a woman to go unharmed as she exited an elevator before he rode it to the 33rd floor, where he killed 1 more person. Some workers fled the 44-story building onto the already harrowed streets of Midtown. During rush hour, this was. Others were trapped in their offices for at least 2 hours. Police commissioner identified the gunman as Shane Devin Tamura, as we said, age 27, from Las Vegas. He died in Rudin Management's 33rd floor offices. Mr. Tamura left Nevada. He drove through Colorado on July 26, crossing New Jersey on Monday afternoon before entering New York City. Police said Tamura had a history of mental illness. A rambling note was found on his body suggesting he had a grievance against the NFL over an unsubstantiated thus far claim that he suffered from chronic traumatic encephalopathy. He played football in high school in California nearly 2 decades ago. And there's this. He seemed to have blamed the NFL, the mayor said. NFL headquarters located in the building, as we've told you. He mistakenly went up the wrong elevator bank. Now, the note claimed he had been suffering from CTE, the degenerative brain disease that has been linked to concussions, other repeated head trauma common in contact sports like football. Said his brain should be studied after he died. 2 people familiar with the matter telling the AP. Also specifically referenced the National Football League, one of the people familiar with the matter said. So there's a lot more we need to learn here. We don't know, Jackson, if this killer who shot himself in the chest, which is exactly what Junior Seau, former NFL great, did and asked that his brain be studied suffering with CTE. Again, we don't know if this guy even had it. Believed he did. Mental illness, that seems to be confirmed. Driving all the way from Las Vegas with such intention. The only mistake it seems he made, wrong elevator, bang. So what can we glean from this?
Well, I mean, if he has CTE, then they'll know after an autopsy because that's the only way they can know. But I mean, he clearly was not thinking in a rational state of mind because, like, even if he did get off on the right floor, then what? Like what would have happened then? You still would have ended up dead, or at best in prison if you didn't get shot up. I mean, this goes without saying, tapping into a very stale issue in this country of gun violence. In New York is not a place where you can walk around like that, but he still was, and that's probably not where he got the weapon. But like, I'm in Missouri right now. Gun laws are a lot more loose than in Illinois where I live. I live in Chicago now. I can just go get pretty much any kind of weapon here in Missouri and then bring it anywhere with me as long as I don't get caught or pulled over. So this entire country is just a nation full of opportunities to buy dangerous weapons. Pretty much anybody can get their hands on, especially if you're in a state like this in Missouri.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people got shot, some people lost their lives here, and it's bigger news because again, it's New York, and this type of stuff is more strict there. But we live in a country where not only do we have very easy access to these types of deadly weapons, but people with glaring mental health issues or episodes have access to them as well. So it's just kind of dangerous for everybody.
Yeah, it is. And you mentioned New York and their strict gun laws that have ensnared a lot of people who you wouldn't even consider to be hardcore, quote unquote, criminals. But they're very strict about it. And for this man, age 27, to just simply be, I mean, that was a purposeful walk. We can see that in that one image of him, even. There was intention there with that AK on his right side, just waltzing through the streets there. We don't know if there's, 911 calls and the like. I suspect there are. But here's where I'm going next, because Jackson, my mind always like leaps ahead. I don't know that I'm going to be able to trust anything from the investigation when it gets political. And it instantly gets political. One side will scream, mental illness, nothing to see here. The other will say, see, if we just had sensible gun control, which is what the people want, but the NRA doesn't. And then there'll be a third, and I don't even know if you believe that the NFL should be mentioned. Let's just say referenced, since that was what Gunman said. The NFL will be saying nothing to see here and don't bring us into it, and goodbye. I don't even think he should be tested. This is my opinion for CTE. So how do we break through the noise when it seems like the people, despite the polling, have no say?
I mean, well, when it comes to like doing anything about access to guns, I don't really see that changing. I don't know when. I mean, I couldn't say. That's one of the issues that never budges no matter what. I mean, the Republicans are more dead center of nobody voting to support that. And with, the Senate having to be a 60 vote, I mean, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Now, the other coin, on the other side of the coin with mental health issues, I mentioned it before about how the Trump administration just signed an executive order that's basically going to throw homeless people into psychiatric wards. So that's kind of the approach that Republicans take to mental health. It's just, I'll just get them out of society, just get them away, just get them out of our sight. But then warehousing people and not really treating them like human beings or having any real empathy for what they're going through or having any real rehabilitation, there's never going to be any change with this issue. So if we're not going to pass any gun laws, then we have to at least get serious about providing like clinics that people can go to, not throwing people in psychiatric wards.
Yeah.
But we're not investing in stuff like that either. I mean, we would have to expand the Medicaid system to address this. And the big, beautiful bill just cut it by almost $1 trillion. So in every way that this could be addressed, we're running in the opposite direction.
Yeah. and therefore it's going to get worse. I got a couple of just solicitation type emails that come across my screen from time to time. One was from a 78-year-old rehab nursing home facility that's been in Atlanta for, like I said, decades, saying, we understand we've been in the news about Medicaid and Medicare cuts, and we assure you we're doing all we can to keep the doors open. So we're just going to see more people left out there hanging, angry, exacerbating mental health issues. I guess for me, when you mention what Donald Trump pushed and signed, I remember an interview with his family members that came to light, at least one of them, that said, listen, he had this nephew who had some pretty severe mental health, mental challenges. And the remark was, well, I don't even know why you're dealing with him. Just put him away somewhere. No quality of life. And that seems to be the attitude here. No matter what signs are in front of you, whether it's kids being blown away in school, nothing seems to get that empathy. And maybe that's where we're wrong. We'll give you the last word while we're looking for empathy from people who perhaps lack the ability.
Well, yeah, I mean, now the country is pretty desensitized to it because there's plenty of people who care about this issue. The overwhelming majority of people aren't okay with someone running up in a school and gunning down children or in supermarkets or anything like that. Whether you think that we have to take action again on how we supply guns to the public or addressing mental health needs through some type of universal system.
No, metal
Um,
detectors. That's what the that's what the
I mean,
Republicans
yeah,
say.
it's really just the moneyed interests that are in the way, and now we're just so used to it happening that it's kind of just a part of life. It's something that we just kind of expect, and now we're outraged about other things. So again, I'm just being real. I don't think this. I think this is going to be a part of living in America ongoing. I don't see this changing anytime soon.
Wow. Well, we'll keep following it. As we said, there's much more to learn out of this incident in New York, 4 dead, and still searching for the real motive of this gunman if they'll ever learn it.